cùng trèo lên đỉnh núi cao vời vợi để ta khắc tên mình trên đời, dù ta biết gian nan đang chờ đón và trái tim vẫn âm thầm ta bước đi hướng tới muôn vì sao. Đằng đường nào trải bước trên hoa hồng và chân cũng thấm đau vì những mũi gai, đường vinh quang đi qua muôn ngàn sóng gió, lời hứa ghi trong tim mình vẫn bước đi hiên ngang đầu ngẩng cao, mà con tim ta đã ước nguyện cùng nhau vai vai để vinh quang đã chia sẻ cùng nhau. Ngày đó sẽ không xa xôi và chúng ta là người chiến thắng, và ta biết sâu lắm thác gành trèo leo trên núi xa và gian nan ta vươn tới những đỉnh cao. Ngày đó
commerce and an empirical SOR model approach. Okay, so this is my table of contents. I will skip this one more quickly. In the abstract, I will focus on the live streaming commerce in Vietnam, and I use the social present, the consumption value, and the purchase intention for my framework. And I study on more than 419 Vietnamese consumer in Vietnam, and we have some of the significant in the social present theories and the consumption value on the purchase intention and some of the herd behavior. So this is my abstract. For the chapter 1, I have some key term definitions. In Vietnam, we have some of the platform we call Shopee, Lazada, and Momo. They are called that the dedicated platform with the live stream capacities. This the platform they integrate the live streaming feature in that platform, but the basic one, they are the marketplace platform. And the second one, we call that social media platform, have the e-commerce feature. That they are the social media platform, but they have the live streaming feature inside. So in Vietnam, we are most famous for the Shopee, the Lazada, and the TikToks in Vietnam. So I will study for the consumer using these three of the platform in Vietnam. Okay, so this is the comparison of between the traditional e-commerce platform and the live streaming e-commerce platform. For the traditional e-commerce platform, they are the marketplace for the seller and the buyer. But for the live streaming platform, because they are the social media platform, so they using the social media to help the seller and buyer to meet each other to create the live streaming platform. So that is for the live streaming. They are more lively and they are more interactive compared to the traditional e-commerce platform. And this is the customer journey of the traditional e-commerce platform. If you can see that, mostly the consumer, they will find the purchase intention in mostly on the social media or from their friends, and they will come to Shopee, Lazada to find that product. And they will searching for the price and for the informations, and after that they can see the price and the information in that platform, and they can place their order. But for the e-commerce platform, they can interact with the live streamer, so they can ask the question, so they can see the product using by the live streamings, and they can ask the question about the product information. So this one is more lively compared to the traditional e-commerce platform. And the third one is the research gap and the motivation for the research gap. For the first research, this is the academic gap. So the consumption values, they haven't explored for the mediating mechanism. So consumption value, they have widely used it to explain the green product purchasing or the green buying behavior. And some other scholars like Lin Huang in 2012, or maybe in 2016, they used the consumption value in the green buying behavior. And in this study, I will use the consumption value for the live streaming commerce. And the second gap is about the limited evidence from the Vietnamese live streaming commerce. So as you can know, the Vietnamese market, they are in the top 3 of Asia for the live streaming, but they just have limited research on on Vietnam market. Mostly the research is based on the China, and because China is the top one of the live streaming commerce in the world. In the world. So this study I will focus on in the Vietnamese consumer to know more about the Vietnamese consumer behavior in the live streaming. And the third one is the boundary condition gap. I will use the herd behavior to explain the moderating roles in my research, and mostly for the herd behavior they use in the other research, not in the live streaming research. So for this study, I will use more about the herd behavior to explain how can they moderate the consumer behavior to the purchase intentions. And the next one is the practical gaps. So I have shown some of the data here. You can see this is the Vietnamese market. They are 20 billion of the USD in the revenue in 2026, and they are in top three, and the growth rate around 20%. But the problem with the e-commerce, they are the Lazada and the Tiki. The traditional e-commerce platform. They are mostly lose the market for very high, and you can see in this area, the number of the shop and the number of the seller here, they have been removed from the market is quite high compared to the growth rate of the e-commerce. So this is the quite the practical problem that I have researched on 1 year in the market to see. This is the potential research for the Taiwans to learn more about the Vietnamese live streaming commerce. And okay, for the research scope, I will focus on the Vietnamese consumer and target on the young generations. And I use the quantitative surveys, and the sample is for the young consumer, and they have already used the live streaming and buy the product in the live streaming. Okay. And the next one is the research question. So I will investigate about the social present from the product, from the interactions, from the viewer. They affect the purchase intention and the mediating effect of consumption value on the purchase intention, and the moderation effect on of the herd behavior on the social present in the purchase intentions. Okay, so the next one is the research procedure. So this one I will just brief one. Okay, and in the chapter 2 I will have some of the literature review. So for the first one, why I choose the social present theories, because the social present theories they mostly used in research of live streaming commerce. So I will use that in my research too. So mostly the social present, they will highlight the roles of the interpersonal interaction in the communications, and this is proposed by Short in 1976. He proposed many of the social present, like the viewer, the interactions, or the ways that the teacher they teach the student on the online videos. So the social present is not this in the beginning they apply into the online teaching research, not in the live streaming. So I apply the social present on the live streaming. And the next one, we have some of the scholars. They have already research on the social present theories they use in the live streamings. So as you can see, 2022, 2025, we have many other research using the social present theories. So the first one is the social. So I chose the social present of products. So the social present of product, that is which product presentation create feelings of human interaction and a social connection. So they will enhance the trust and engagement in the live streaming shopping, and make the shopping environment more face-to-face interaction compared to the traditional one. And I propose the hypothesis one is social present of product positively influence the purchase intention on the live streaming commerce. And the second one is the social present of interactions. So the social present of interaction is about the interactive features such as comment, question, likes, or the real-time response strengthen the perception that the other people present in the online environment. So in the social present, that is the live streamer, they will interact with the customer to answer the customer question and typing in like to respond to consumer comments. So we call that social present of interactions. So we propose the hypothesis 1B, the social present of interaction and the purchase intention. And the third one is the social present of the viewer. The social present of the viewer that refer to which consumer perceive that other viewers are present and actively participating in the live streaming section. That is about the other consumer. They are in that live streaming. So I propose the social present of viewer that they will have the positive influence on the purchase intentions. Okay, so next, so this my first hypothesis ABC, the social present and the purchase intentions. Okay, come from next one is the consumption value theories. The consumption value theories, they explain that the consumer make the purchase intention based on the multiple type of the value rather than the price or the product feature alone. So the consumption value they mostly use in the greed buying behavior. But in this time I apply into the live streaming research. So this my contributions for this studies, and I will use. So in this consumption value, we have the functional value, social value, emotional value, the epistemic value, and the conditional value. So this one is proposed by the Gross in 1992. So these some of the consumption value theories by the previous scholar, but mostly they will focus on the greed buying behavior. So okay, so for the first one is the consumption value. They will act as a mediator in my research framework. So the social present of product and the epistemic value. So the social present of product that defines as the product information, and the epistemic value that is involved in the perceive of the product information that the consumer they receive during the live streaming sections. That the live streamer they will provide the product information, and the consumer they can learn from that product information. So that is called the epistemic value. So I put the epistemic value in the mediating roles. So I propose the second hypothesis, the social present of product and the epistemic value. And the next one is about the emotional values. So I propose the second hypothesis about the social present of product and the emotional value from the consumption value theories. So the next one is about the social present of product and the social value. So the social value is the benefit consumer they perceive when the product enhances their social image. So this is the definition of the social value. So I propose that social present of the product they positively influence the social value in the live streaming commerce. And the third hypothesis that will be the social present of interactions and the epistemic value. So the some of the study they have research that the continuous interaction they can increase the engagement and support deeper information processing in 2004, and for that I propose the hypothesis 3, the social present of interactions and epistemic value in the live streaming commerce. The next one is about the social present of interaction and emotional value. So some of the study they have proposed that the live streaming interaction they can create the socially rich environment throughout the message, the emoji reaction, and the virtual reward. So in 2024 by Guan, And I propose the third hypothesis, the social present of interaction and the emotional value in the live streaming commerce. The next one is about the social present of interactions and the social value. So some of the study in 2022, the interactions they can frequently extend beyond merge transaction and involve into the relationship building process. That means some of the interaction between the live streamer and the consumer, they can enhance the consumer's social value, like the social image. So I propose the third hypothesis, the 3C, the social present of interactions and the social value in the live streaming commerce. Okay, so for the fourth hypothesis about the social present of viewer and the epistemic value. So some of the study they propose that social present of viewer means that consumer feel that the other viewer they actively present in the live streaming, and through that live streaming, through the comment, to the chat, to the share, and to the viewers, they can gain more product knowledge and the information from the other. And this proposed by the Jen Ray Fu in 2023. And I proposed in the hypothesis for 4A, the social present of viewer and the epistemic value. And the next one is the social present of viewer and the emotional value. So this one, some of the author that they propose that through comment, chat, or the co-viewing, the consumer experience create the enjoyment, immersion, and the excitement. So from Huang and Feng in 2018 and 2022, they have the research on this one. And I propose a hypothesis for B about the social present of viewer and emotional value. Okay, for the social present of viewer and the social value, some of the study they have proposed that the interaction with other viewers can create the companionship, the recognition, and the community's belonging. So this the research in 2019. So I propose the 4C, the hypothesis 4C, that is social present of viewer and the social value in the live streaming commerce. So this is the framework for the social present of and the consumption value. So the last one is the purchase intentions. The purchase intention mostly in the live streaming commerce they use the impulse buying instead of purchase intention. So in this study, I would use the purchase intention because from now the consumer they are more considering in buying the product, not to be impulse buying. So they can consider about the price, the product information. So I use the purchase intention instead of the impulse buying. And the purchase intention, they will refer to the consumer conscious plan and the willing to buy the specific product or the brand. And it reflects the consumer motivation and the behavioral tendency to take the purchase actions. So they have to go through the product information, the other viewer to purchase the product. So I choose the purchase intention for this research. And some other study in the live streaming, they have also used the purchase intention, but mostly the research they use the impulse buying. So in this study, I will use the purchase intention instead to explain the Vietnamese consumer behavior. Okay, so for the epistemic value and the purchase intentions, so the epistemic value they reflect the novelties, the curiosities, and the knowledge consumer they gain from the live streamings. And some other study they propose that they will have to shape attitude, the cognitive and the engagement, so they can turn to strengthen the purchase intention. So the study in 2022 in Su in 2024 and 2025 they use they propose the result for this one. And I propose that the epistemic value they will influence the purchase intention in the live streaming commerce. And the next one is the emotional value and the purchase intention. For the emotional value, in some of the research, they propose that the emotional value then help strengthen the purchase intentions. In Wang, 2025, and Riley in 2022, and some scholar in 2025, they proposed also the emotional value they can help to strengthen the purchase intentions. And I propose the 5B, the epistemic value, they influence the purchase intention in the live streaming commerce. And the last hypothesis will be the social value and the purchase intention. So the social value and the purchase intention in some of the research, they propose the result that when product or shopping experience, they improve the consumer social image or the connection with others. Purchase intention becomes stronger in the in the live streaming, because the mostly for the live streamer, they are the KOL and KOC, or maybe they are the popular people. So if you buy the product from the live streaming, they have a KOL, so they can boost your social values or the social image of yourself. So I propose the 5C, social value, positive, and the purchase intention in the live streaming commerce. Okay, so this is the hypothesis from consumption value and the purchase intentions. So the next one is the herd behavior. The herd behavior, that means the consumer tendencies to follow other opinions and the action, especially when they feel uncertainties. And this herd behavior they proposed in the research in 2022 and in 2021 research. And when the consumer they rely less on their own judgment or more on the group behavior and the social influence, they will have the herd behavior. And in the live streaming, visible cues like the orders people purchase, comments, ranking, and the sales volume can trigger the herd behavior. And this proposed by Chen in 2024. So in my study, I will use the herd behavior as a moderator, not the independence variable. So mostly in the previous research, the herd behavior they use in the independence variable. So in my research, I use the herd behavior as a moderator in my research framework. And why I use the herd behavior? So in the herd behavior, for the moderator between the social present of product and purchase intention, the herd behavior, some of the research they propose that the consumer with stronger herd behavior are more likely to see these cues and sign of the product popularities and the quality, which increase the persuasive effect on the product social present. And this proposed by the Hạnh in 2025 and Zuka in 2025. And therefore, the positive relationship between the social present of product and the purchase intention become more stronger. So I propose the hypothesis 6A. The herd behavior, they will moderate the relationship between the social present of product and the purchase intention. And the next one is about the relationship between the social present of interaction and the purchase intention. So some of the study they propose that the visible cues such as the comment, reply, the viewer count, or the purchase notification can make the other behavior more influence. So if the other consumer they see the other consumer they purchase that product, and in that live streaming they will announce that consumer they have purchased that, and from my side I will see that notification and I will buy that product in that live streaming. So this is the herd behavior between the social present of interaction and the purchase intention. And I propose the 6B, the herd behavior, that they moderate the relationship between the social present of interaction and the purchase intentions. And the next one will be the herd behavior, they moderate the relationship between the social present of viewer and the purchase intention. In study of 2024 and 2020, the cues such as the viewer counts, the comment, likes, and the purchase pop-up makes order behavior more influenced, and the consumer with stronger hurt densities, they are more likely to treat these cues as a sign of product popularities and the qualities, so that can increase the purchase intention. Like this one is from the previous research in 2021, and one of the research in the Vietnamese consumer in 2023. So I propose the 6C, the herd behavior. They moderate the relationship between the social present of viewer and the purchase intention. So this the framework that I propose for the social present and the herd behavior, they moderate the relationship between the social present and the purchase intention. And the next one, I use the SOR framework to explain my research framework. The SOR mean that the S mean that is the external environmental stimulus that and they can impact the internal state of the consumer. We can all, and they will influence the behavioral response is the purchase intention. So some of the research in the live streaming, they propose this framework into their research to explain the consumer behavior. So I use this one for my research too. So for the chapter 3, so these are all my research framework. From the S, it means the social present, the O means the consumption value, and the R means the purchase intention, and I add the herd behavior as a moderator. Okay, so this is my research procedure, so I will skip this one because that is a brief one. So all of the questionnaires I propose from the other scholar. So from the purchase intention, the social present, the consumption value, and the herd behavior. For each of the variable, I use 3 of the paper to follow. Okay, for the questionnaires, I target on the Vietnamese consumer with the live streaming shopping experience in TikTok, Shopee, Lazada, and Facebook. And the questionnaire developed in English and translate into Vietnamese. And I propose this into the most biggest Facebook group to let them to fill the surveys. And in this surveys, I use the reverse code techniques to remove the consumer that they don't read the question carefully. So, and for the questionnaire design the sample, I will have the demographic profile, and the second part is the questionnaire that is for the shopping experience. And the data analysis, I will use the SPSS and Atmos to test the data. And the Atmos test, I use the CFA, the model fit, the convergence and the discriminate validities, and the SEM, the regressions weight, the R, the sway multiple correlations, the indirect effect, and the moderation. And the next one is the result. Chapter 4, result. So the initial of the consumer, I have 500, but some of them, because I put some of the question in a revert code, so just still remain 418 valid questionnaire for the analysis. And in this demographics one, so mostly the consumer, they will watching the live streaming, they will be the female, the male, and the age is between 25 to 34. That is the generation Z, and the monthly income, they will be in the middle income, because mostly they have job, and they have already graduate from the school, and they are most of them, they have hold the undergraduate degrees, and the job they have some of them they are the student, they are the still student, and they have the freelancer, maybe in the private sector. And the next one will be the shopping experience. So most of them they have both 4 years of the experience in watching the live streaming, because in Vietnam the live streaming commerce they just booming from after the COVID-19. So mostly the young consumer they will use the live streaming commerce from 2019 to 2026. And shopping fluencies, mostly they will watch one time per week, and mostly they will use the TikToks to watching the live streaming and purchase the product there. And product categories, mostly they are in the fashion, the beauty and personal care, and the food beverage is the top 3 of the product that the young consumer they buy from the live streaming commerce. Okay, so for the measurement, so this is the measurement. So the respondent report high perception of the 3 dimension of the social present. So the more standard deviations they indicate acceptable consistency in the respondent answer. So we can go to the further analysis. And the next one is the consumption value and the emotional value and social value. They also generate the strong information and strong standard deviation. So that is proof that we can propose the further analysis. And the next one is the herd behavior and purchasing sensor. They also acceptable to further analysis. So in the factor analysis, I follow the previous paper in 2004 and 2021 to propose some of the indicator. This is for the first one is the KMO. They will more than 0.5. With the p-value is less than 0.05, and the commonalities is more than 0.5, and the commonalities is more than 0.6, and the eigenvalue is more than 1. This is the indicator I picked it out from the previous paper to follow. So for the factor analysis, so for the EFA loading, they ranging from 0.611 to 0.855. So they exceed 0.5. So that is acceptable. The CFA also for the CR value, they are significant, and the supporting measurement supporting measurement validities, and the social present of product, viewer and interaction they retain for the hypothesis testing. And the next one is the epistemic value, emotional value, and social value. So for the EFA they ranging more than 0.5. So that we accept to further for further analysis. And all the factor loading is quality to further analysis, and the CR they were high. So showing that the measurement item they are significant represent their corresponding construct. Okay, so for the herd behavior and purchase intention, they are also two. So the estimates CR they value were higher than the acceptable level, and they are significant. So we can further analysis. And the next one is about the reliabilities and the convergent validities. So for this one, the converge alpha values range from 0.8 to 0.823 to 0.843. That will assist the recommended is 0.7. So the composite reliability CR value is confirmed good internal consistent. So and also for the ABE values, they are ranging from 0.734 to 0.757. They are used to assess the discriminate validities. So the result, they indicate that all constructs were reliable and has acceptable convergent validities. So we move to the next analysis is discriminate validities. So in this one, we also all of the square roots they ranging from 0.734 to 0.757. So the highest correlations between the social present of the between social value and the epidemic, which are still lower than the square root. So mostly they have significant. So there was no serious discriminate validity problem from the result. So we can further analysis. And I will use the SPS. I will use the ASMOD to test the direct hypothesis testing. So in this one, they are mostly supported by the p-value. So I will have some of the summarize for this one. So social presenter product interaction, the viewer has significant positive effect on the purchase intention, and social present of viewer, they show the strongest direct effect on the purchase intention among three social present dimension, and all of the three dimension of the social present, they significant increase the epistemic value, the emotional value, and the social present, and all of the direct hypothesis from H1A to hypothesis 5C was supported. Okay, for the direct hypothesis testing, the value of indulgence construct, they are quite good for the R power 2. Mostly they from 0.4 to 0.5 with the purchase intention. They must have the highest one is 0.586. So they so from this one, the three dimension of the social present, they explain 45 to 48 of the consumer cognitive emotion and the social value, and this indicate that the social present consistently influence the multiple psychology process rather than only effect on the final purchase intention. And this quite fit to my research framework that social present, they will influence the consumption value, and from consumption value they will influence the purchase intention. And the model explain 58.6% of the purchase intention. They demonstrate the satisfactory explanatory power in the behavioral research. So the model capture the balance between the psychology process in which the social present shape the consumer cognitive, social evaluation and emotional value, and which is contribute to the purchase intentions. And this one is for the indirect effect testing. For the indirect testing, they are all supported. And because they are like the p-value, they are below 0.05. So all of the hypotheses, they are supported in the indirect testing. So all of the hypotheses were confirmed. And the next one is the moderating effect testing. So in the moderating effect testing, so in the first one is the herd behavior. They will moderate the social present of product in the purchase intention. So this one is significant, and because okay, so the result of the social present of product has significant positive effect on purchase intention with the p-value 0.524. So in contrast, the herd behavior does have not the significant direct effect on the purchase intention. As shown, the beta, they are equal to 0.0022, and the p-value is less than 0.967. So this our contribution to this research, that we found that the herd behavior, they have significant moderate the relationship between the social present of product and the purchase intention. But for the social present of interaction, the herd behavior, they don't have the significant. So this our finding too. So for this one, because the herd behavior, they have the beta is equal to 0.5 and the p-value is smaller than 0.001. So so the social present of interactions, they are not supported to be the moderator. And yeah, so these are our findings for the herd behavior. They doesn't have the significant moderate the relationship between the social present of interactions and the purchase intentions. And the next highlight is about the social present of viewer and the herd behavior. They also not supported. So these are our second findings in this research. And in this one, because the social present of viewer, they have the p-value is negative 0.006, and the p-value is 0.881. So they doesn't support to be moderating the relationship between social present of viewer and the purchase intention. So these are my second findings for this research. And the third one is the hypothesis testing. Okay, so for the hypothesis testing, so for the conclusions, the finding of this study confirmed that social present of data significant influence the purchase intention in the live streaming commerce, and all of three of the social present they affect on the purchase intention, the mediating also for the consumption value. But for the herd behavior, just the herd behavior just moderate the relationship between the social present of product and the purchase intention, and the other they doesn't support it. So these my findings, and I summarize this for so mostly our focus. So our findings will be hypothesis 6B and 6C. That is the herd behavior. They don't have significant on the on moderating the relationship between the social present of interaction and the purchase intention, and the social present of viewer on the purchase intention. And the second highlight is about the consumption value. So in my research, mostly the consumption value, they are supported to be the moderator, to be the mediator from the social present to the purchase intention. So we have two of the findings on the consumption value and the herd behavior. Okay, for the theoretical implication. So for my study, I use the consumption value theory to be the mediator. So for the for the implication, further research can use the consumption value as a mediator for their research framework. And also some of the result in the herd behavior is also significant. So they can consider for the future result for the herd behavior as a moderator, not to be used in the independence variable. And this study also further explained for the Vietnamese consumer behavior. Mostly they just focus on the China. So this our implications for the theoretical. And the next one is for the managerial implication. So my research will focus to help the MMC manager to expand their product to Vietnam using the live streaming commerce. with the low cost. So I will show that our research have significant proof that the live streaming commerce they can help the manager to expand their product to Vietnam. Instead of they just going to the retail channel or just finding for the offline channel, so they can consider the live streaming as a strategic channel, not just a selling tool, or just for the marketing, and they can. So for this research, I also propose for the live streamer to help them to attract more of the consumer to their live streaming sections, so they can learn how they can present the product information, or also how they can how they can push the interaction between them and the consumer, or push the interaction between the consumer with the consumer, and also how they can use the other consumer to trigger the other consumer to buy the product. So this our purpose for this finding, and for this research that can help for the manager and for the live streamer to help them to create more value for the Vietnam market. And yeah, this is my reference. And okay, so thank you, Professor Jennifer Zhang, Professor Yen, and Professor Chang Yapi to listen to my presentation. That is quite longer because we have too many hypotheses. And if you have any question or suggestion, so please give me. I will appreciate that.
Okay.
Ngày đó sẽ không xa xôi, và chúng ta là người chiến thắng. Đường đến những ngày vinh quang không còn xa, dù khó khăn vẫn và mặt trời rực sáng trên cao vời, ban sức sống huy hoàng khắp muôn nơi, cài vinh quang lên vai những người chiến thắng. Khoảnh khắc ghi trong tim hồng, bao khó khăn ta cũng sẽ vượt qua, và con tim ta đã ước nguyện cùng nhau vai vai để vinh quang ta chia sẻ cùng nhau. Ngày đó sẽ không xa xôi, và chúng ta là người chiến thắng. Đường đến những ngày vinh quang không còn xa. Ngày đó sẽ không xa xôi, và chúng ta là người chiến thắng. Đường đến những ngày vinh quang còn đường.